Hello everyone, welcome to Analog and Digital Electronics Lab. Today we are going to learn about the experiment to design an earth-stable multivibrator circuit for 3 cases of duty cycle using 555 timer IC. So what are the 3 cases of duty cycle? So one for 50%, less than 50% and greater than 50% duty cycle. And we need to simulate the same for any one duty cycle. The main aim of the experiment is to design and implement an earth-stable multivibrator using 555 timer IC for the given frequency and duty cycle. So here you can take any duty cycle like 50 equal to 50%, greater than 50% or lesser than 50% duty cycle. For that you need to design the earth-stable multi-vibrator. Then the components required for this experiment are 555 timer IC, two number of resistors, one is 3.3 kilo ohm and 6.8 kilo ohm, capacitor of 0.1 microfarad, another one capacitor of 0.01 microfarad, then regulated power supply, then CRO. So we require one number of 555 timer IC, two number of resistors and two number of capacitors and one CRO to display the waveform generation. So you may have a question in your mind that what actually the earth-stable multivibrator mode of 555 timer IC. So it is also called as free running or self-triggering mode. Why we call this as self-triggering mode means it requires no external triggering. It automatically interchanges its two states on a particular interval. Hence, it generates a rectangular waveform. The time duration of high and low output has been determined by external resistors R1 and R2 and a capacitor. A stable mode works as an oscillator circuit in which output oscillates at a particular frequency and generate pulses in rectangular waveform. For the given frequency, it is going to generate a rectangular waveform. It is quite popular timer IC and we will call it as versatile IC. Before going for the calculation, so first we will see how actually the circuit diagram for the duty cycle which is greater than 50%. So here we are using RA and RB as the resistors and one capacitor. This will be of 0.01 microfarad. This will be of 0.1 microfarad capacitor. So we have two important pins over 555 timer IC. One is the trigger pin, so which is dragged from this is the trigger pin. So you can observe TRI. Yes, this is the trigger pin is dragged from the negative input of comparator 2. The lower comparator output is connected to set pin of the flip-flop. A negative pulse, that is 1 by 3 on this pin, sets the flip-flop and output goes high. And another pin is what threshold pin. Here it is THR. Yes, this threshold pin voltage determines when to reset the flip-flop in the timer. The threshold pin is drawn from positive input of upper comparator. If the control pin is open, then the voltage equal to or greater than 2 by 3 VCC will will reset the flip-flop. So the output goes low. Here output goes high and here the output goes low. When initially power is turned on, the trigger pin voltage is below 1 by 3 VCC. That makes the lower comparator output high and sets the flip-flop, and output of the 555 chip is high. So this is how the circuit diagram of the 555 timer IC in order to get the duty cycle greater than 50%. Now we will see how actually we can design for the given frequency and duty cycle. So we are considering the duty cycle greater than 50%. For that, the frequency is 1 kilohertz and duty cycle as 60%, or we can take it as zero point 0.6. So we all know what actually the time and frequency relationship is. Yes, T is equal to 1 by F. So the given frequency is 1 kilohertz. 1 divided by 1 kilohertz will gives you 1 millisecond. And T is equal to T high plus T low. So where T high is the time the output is high and T low is the time the output is low. From the theory of stable multivibrator using 555 timer, so we have TH is equal to 0.693 RBC and TL is equal to 0.693 RA plus RB into C. So overall, by combining equation 1 and 2, we will get T is equal to TH plus TL is equal to 0.693 into RA plus 2 into RB into C. By substituting the value of T, so we already know that what actually the T is and the duty cycle is. Correct. So duty cycle we take it as 0.6 and TH we don't know, we have to calculate it now. Then T is 1 millisecond. So zero point 0.6 into 1 is TH is equal to 0.6 millisecond and TL is equal to T minus TH, that is 0.4 millisecond. So let us consider the capacitor value as 0.1 microfarad and substituting the value of C in the above equations. So if we substitute the value of TH as 0.6 millisecond and C as 0.1 microfarad, then we will get the value of RB as 5.8 kilo ohm and RA is equal to 2.9 kilo ohm from equation 2. So the VCC determines the upper and lower threshold voltages. So by taking the values of RA and RB, by taking the value of RA and RB into the circuit, so we will get a waveform generation like this. So this will be the charging condition and this will be the discharging condition. So whenever it is charging, we will take it as T high. And whenever it is discharging, we will consider it as TL. So T is equal to TH plus TL. So how we are going to calculate the duty cycle in percentage? So we have a formula for the duty cycle, that is duty cycle is equal to TH by T. So here what actually the TH is that we have to measure, then divided by T. T means TH plus TL. So let me consider this as one measure and this as one measure, like 1 plus 1 is 2, so it is almost equal to 2, so TL is almost equal to 1.5. So 2 plus 1.5, 2 plus 1.5 will give 3.5. And what about TH? So TH is nothing but we have considered it as 2 divided by, so 2 divided by 3.5, so will gives you the duty cycle in percentage. Now we will see how to simulate using Workbench software. So this is the electronics workbench software. So from this you can So from this you can design the circuit of 555 timer IC. So this will be the menus and this will be the sub menus. So there you can get the components required in order to design a circuit. So what are all the components we require in order to design a stable 555 timer IC circuit? So what are all the components we require? So we require one 555 timer IC. So you can get the 555 timer IC here. So you just select and you just drag and drop on this window. Then we require one CRO to display the waveform generation, and we require a plus VCC. So for that we will select a battery, select it and drag and drop over here. Then we require a ground connection for converting another terminal of your VCC. Then we require resistors. How many resistors we require? We require two resistors. Then we require capacitors. So how many number of capacitors we require? Yes, again it is two. We require two capacitors and we require two more ground connections. So we'll take the ground components over here. So what will be the value of your VCC? We will take 5 volts. And what will be the value of RA? So we'll take it as 3.6 kilo ohm. So this is what we'll consider as RB. So what actually the RB value? We'll take it as 10.8 kilo ohm. And the capacitor which is connected to RB is of 0.1 microfarad. And one more capacitor we need, so it is of 0.01 microfarad. Now we will do the actual connections by using these components. So VCC is connected to plus 5 volt. Then the other end of the battery will be grounded. And this will be connected to another end of the RA is connected to plus VCC. Will short both RA and RB and will connect that to the 555 timer IC. Then here the ground point will be connected to ground. The two terminals of CRO connected to ground. Then one will be connected to output of your 555 timer. So the output will be connected to CRO. And this will be connected to RB. The triggering point will be connected to RB. Then your threshold point will be connected. Then your capacitor and the all will be grounded at one point. And one more terminal is there, that is RES will be connected to plus VCC. So this is how we need to do the circuit connections using the components available in the submenus, and we need to save this file with the file name .ewb. I'll give it as experiment number 1 .ewb. Then you click on OK. So now after doing this, so we will run this circuit after saving the file. So we'll run the experiment. Yes, the waveform is generated. Now we'll check what actually the TL and TH value is. So we'll take the time base as 1 millisecond. So you can observe here nicely we got what charging and discharging point here. So what will be the value if I consider this as one measure means, so what will be the value of TH? Yes, it is 1. What about TL? So it is 0.75. If I consider this as 1 means I'll consider this as 0.75. Okay, so here T is TH plus TL. So this is charging and discharging. So this will be considered as the total time. So T is what? TH plus TL. So TH is 1 plus 0.75 is 1.75. Your T is 1.75. Then what about the duty cycle? How to calculate the duty cycle? So duty cycle we can calculate by TH divided by T. So TH is 1. 1 divided by 1.75. So we'll check here. 1 divided by 1.75. So it is 0.57. 1 divided by 1.75. So it is 0.57. So in percentages we should get no into 100 will gives you 57% duty cycle. It is almost 60% duty cycle, which is greater than 50% duty cycle. So this is how we can calculate the duty cycle for the generated waveforms. Okay, so we'll have one more example for that is like 75% duty cycle while doing connections with the real components. Thank you. So now we'll see how to make a connection for your astable multi-vibrator circuit. Okay, so this is how we need to make a circuit connection. Correct. So this is what are the components we require. One 555 timer. So this is what the 555 timer IC. Then we require two resistor. I'm taking for reference resistor as what 6.8 kilo ohm and 3.3 kilo ohm. So this is 3.3 kilo ohm and this one is 6.8 kilo ohm resistors, and we require two capacitor. So one is 0.1 microfarad and another one is 0.01 microfarad capacitor. So these are the components we require in order to make a circuit connection of a stable multivibrator, and these are the wires we need to make a connection of all the points. Okay, next this is what the breadboard. So this from this only we can design a circuit. Okay, so first we'll see how to connect this 555 timer. So here there will be one knob. So this we will consider as a head of the knob, and you need to connect between these two horizontal lines. Okay, there will be a gap between these two horizontal lines. So there I am fixing this 555 timer. So by considering this as a head, so if I consider this as a head means, so this pin will become 1, next 2, 3, 4, and this will become 5, 6, 7 and 8. So your 555 timer is having 8 pins. Okay, so first we have to connect first pin toward ground.
Okay, I'll take this as ground connections. Okay, so this also you can take it as a ground, this also you can take it as a ground. Now I'm going to connect pin number 1 to the ground. And you have to make a series connection in horizontal way when you are going to take it as a ground. Next we need to short between 2 and 6. So you take the wire, so there you can short pin number 6 and 2. So this is what pin number 2 and 5, and this is 6. So I am shorting 2 and 6. Next we need to connect a resistor of 3.3 to RB. So this is 3.3 resistor. So this is I am connecting to 2 and 7 between. So in this line the vertical lines will be in series. Okay, so you can connect this resistor to the next point. Okay, so 2 to 7 I am connecting one resistor, that is RB. So 7 means 5, 6, 7, the third pin. Next we need to connect a resistor between, a resistor means it is of 6.8 kilo ohm. So I am connecting this resistor between 7 and 8. So this is the 7 and the last pin will be your 8. While connecting you have to make sure there should not be any short between other components. Okay. Next is we need to short between 8 and 4. 8 and 4. This is your fourth pin of your IC and the last is your 8th pin of your IC. I am shorting 8 and 4. Okay, next we need to connect a capacitor between 6 and the ground, which is the 6th pin here. Yes, this one 6, and I'll consider this as ground now. Yes, and we need to connect a 0.01 microfarad capacitor between 5 and the ground. Next we need to connect your third pin to your output. So output means we need to connect the third pin of 555 timer on CRO. So I will show how to connect this third pin to CRO, and we need to connect V in or VCC plus VCC to 8, pin number 8 of your 555 IC. So this will be your input and this will be your output. Okay, so output should be connected to your CRO. So and this will be connected to your plus VCC. Now first we will see how to connect this output to your CRO. Now I am going to show how to check the probes of your CRO. Okay, so I am going to check this positive point of your probe. So if you get this double lines, means yes, it is working. You can make a connection between probe and the breadboard. Okay, so I am taking the third pin as V out. Okay, so I am taking your channel 1 as output, and you need to connect this black pin to your black wire to your ground. Okay, so I'll connect this to one kit. So I'm taking one kit. So you can observe here, there will be a naming like ground plus 12 volts, minus 12 volts, ground, and plus 5 volts. Okay, so I can make a connection for the ground points like this. Okay, so this is what ground. I am connecting the black wire to the ground, then your plus 2. So another channel wire is there now, CRO. So channel 2 I am taking it as an input. So this we need to connect the 8th pin of your 555 timer. We need to connect this to what? Plus 12 volts. Now we need to make sure that, so we need, in order to observe the waveform, so we need to make an input. Okay, so where we can give the threshold point or the triggering point. So we can take 2 and 6 as a triggering point. So we need to connect the 6th pin of 555 timer to your CRO for the input. Okay, so this is the second point. From this I can connect to your input. So input means this will be your plus VCC. So there we can make a connection to your CRO. So this is how the connection will be. Okay, so now we'll on the kit and CRO. You can turn on and or turn off the kit. So thereby we can make the circuit connection active. Okay, now we need to connect this to, this is what the CRO. Okay, so this is the channel 1 and channel 2. So these channel 1 and channel 2 we can use it for input and output waveform generations. Okay, and this is the waveform generator which we can use it. This is optional. So if waveform is not generated properly, you can use this. Okay, so means you have to connect this waveform generator to your input pin, that is your plus VCC. Okay, so if you take a triggering point as a 2 means, so that we need to make a connection to your waveform generator. Okay, which is connected to your plus VCC. Now you can observe, so I have turned on the CRO and the kit. So you can observe the two waves. So one is the analog wave, so sine wave, and this one is what, the square wave. Okay, so you can observe so this is what the channel 2, so which is your output signal, and channel 1 is what, your input signal. So I am taking both at a time. So there will be an option like channel 1 and channel 2 and the dual. So I am taking both the signals together. So you can observe there is a 75% duty cycle. You can observe the variation. So this is what? A 25% of a wave signal is generated. This will be your T off and this will be your T on. So almost it's 75% is in on region and 25% is in off region. So this is what we have proved. That is, if I take the resistor of 3.3 and 6.8 kilo ohm resistors, so we will be getting what? 75% duty cycle. Okay.